Hello everyone, it's Andy Glenn here from Sharks TV and I'm welcoming you all to another podcast. And this time the podcast is with goalie Curtis Warburton. Curtis, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Really here to talk to you about almost a goalkeeper special. There's been some comments, some choice comments on the YouTube channel, which I hope you all like, share and subscribe to, by the way, that it wasn't goalie specific enough. So this is a goalie special, just for you. How are you enjoying your hockey?
Well, great. Like I'm back on the ice now. I think I've been on with the team for 2 weeks now, so it's just good to be around everyone again and back on the ice. It's a little tough when you're not practicing and you're watching everyone else practice and play games, or even skating on your own. Like it's just not the same. But being around everyone, it's great.
Yeah, you had an injury.
Yeah, so just a lower body injury. So I think that I came into like camp with it sort of, and through pre-season it just got worse. And as you do, like it's a new team, you wanna play in, like show to like your coach, your teammates, and even the fans like how good you are really. So I just sort of played through it, and it was just too much. And
do you think you did more damage than if you'd have just taken a rest at the start?
Maybe. It's tough to say because like it was like niggly. I think I missed like maybe got off halfway through a practice or two during pre-season, but like the damage was done already, I guess. And I was just fighting through it with like painkillers and stuff like that, but it just got too much, and the smart thing was to not skate and just rest up really.
But you're back to full fitness now?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just great.
Oh, it's great
to be involved. Yeah,
good to see you back with new pads.
Oh yeah, it was like a late birthday present, early Christmas present, so that was great. Especially I'm back on the ice with new equipment. Like it's always fun.
When new equipment comes, is it just, do you have to kind of break it in as such, or is it just good to go?
It's like you have to break it in a little bit. Like I like the pads stiff, like most goalies do, and everything. So like that's not a worry. But like my catching glove, well, my glove was a different break angle, so it took a little bit of getting used to. But it was the one I was using in the summer, so it didn't really take too much.
Right, you're going to have to explain a break angle. What? Right.
So it's just the way the catcher sits on your hand with the pocket. So I don't, without having a visual, it's hard to explain, but it's just the way it sits on your hand.
So that just needs
where
to be
the
broken.
Pocket is.
Right. So it just needs to be broken in a little bit. Is what you're just get used to.
As in, like getting used to catching the puck on a different spot in your hand. Right. So obviously, like you don't catch the puck on the palm. It's like the webbing's obviously where the gap between your thumb and your fingers. So it's just the way it sits and how it closes on your hand is different.
I've seen the speed of some of the shots. So you're thinking about different parts of your hand that you're going to be catching this in. Brilliant. Whilst you were injured, you started a bit of commentary with my pal Owen. How was that?
It was something new for me and interesting. Obviously, a side of the game I've never really done before. And every player, when you're not playing or even when you are playing, you've got something to say about the game. But it was fun, to be honest. Especially the first time I was sort of thrown in there, and like the second time I did get asked. So I think the second time was like probably I was more nervous about that than the first time.
First time you never had time to think about it, just go
not
up there,
at all,
Curtis,
just
and commentate
exactly.
with the
And I thought it went pretty well. Like
feedback's been great.
But I the funny thing was I just didn't know when to butt in and be like, oh yeah, that was a great play there, or do you know what I mean? Like I didn't know when to speak and when not to.
And sometimes the moment's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
you just don't want to be there and like just be silent the whole game.
You're a big enough boy, you should have just elbowed Owen in the ribs. I'm told.
No, he does a great job.
Oh, he's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah, he's great.
Absolutely brilliant. Going to ask you some goalie specific things about what's been happening in games. So in the games we've been taking a few penalties. It's fair to say.
Yeah.
From a goalie perspective, how do you deal with frequent PKs in terms of your physicality and your mental attitude towards it all?
Well, just whenever we get a penalty or we're on the PK, like it's just one of those like, oh, you've got to be big here because like at the end of the day, your goalie's got to be your best penalty killer, as they always say.
Yeah.
So obviously, like it's the point in the game where you're going to probably face the most grade A's or the most chances. So just really like dialing down and focusing on that moment really, and just mentally trying to be as strong as you can. So
mentally as strong as you can, but physically you're pretty much in a kind of squat position as well for.
Well, as a goalie, like
2 minutes
you've got like different stances, and it's something like I worked over in the summer. So like obviously when the puck's on the perimeter and there's not really a scoring threat, you sort of like upright in your stance.
Yeah.
Where you can still skate, but like and drop, but like obviously if the puck's far away, you've got more time to sort of get down and react. So when the puck's on the perimeter and there's not a scoring threat, you sort of more upright. And obviously when it gets to those scoring areas and guys are looking to make seam passes and stuff, like that's when you lower down in your stance. Yeah. So it's just reading the play really.
Yep.
Obviously if you're hemmed in for like 2 minutes or even 4 minutes or 5, like it does get pretty tiring, as it will do, but like
tiring and as well for the folk on the penalty kill as well. And if you do concede a goal, how do you reset yourself mentally?
Oh, I have the same set routine every time a goal goes in. Like I'll take a bit of water and like I'll flick it up in the air and just watch one of the droplets fall to the ice. Just something like mentally gives me a bit of confidence, saying that I can like keep tracking the puck and stuff. And then I just say like the same like phrases, what makes me good as a goalie, what I feel like makes me good as a goalie, and it just takes my mind away from the goal.
That's brilliant.
But before all that, I missed that bit out. Before all that, I'll always think about the goal. I'd be like, oh, could I have played it differently to give myself a better chance of making the save? And then after that,
just a bit of reflection on what happened.
Then sometimes sometimes I'll go for a skate, just like no matter what. Maybe especially if like we've not touched the puck's not been in our end much, just to like keep my legs warm and stuff. But other than that, yeah, it's flick the water up. That's my reset. After that, say the words, and then that's it. The phrases.
That's brilliant. See, that's why we should we needed a goalie special, isn't it? Really interesting stuff. Thanks for that.
But just on the PK, like you're saying about getting tired and stuff, and that's times like mentally as a goalie you want to like try freeze the puck like as much as you can, just so you can get a whistle.
Yeah,
and just stuff like that.
Yeah, that
just because that helps your team out at the end of the day.
So that everybody can get a break,
if they're tired, obviously a couple more seam passes will get sent through, and it's just difficult for everyone. So like, especially on the penalty kill, it's try freeze the puck as much as I can.
It's good insight because us as fans are watching, and we're not always taking it from a goalie's perspective. So it's really interesting to get your insights. Thanks for that. What are you getting up to during the day?
Well, the minute I'm just playing hockey. I coach a couple a little bit, but just playing hockey at the minute. So, like, especially today, we have practice later on.
Yeah.
So I'll just go to the gym. Usually I have 2 heavy lifts a week, and then I'll have like a speed day, like a recovery speed day, just similar to what I was doing last year, really. So it just depends if I've played or not. So I ended up playing on a Sunday. So usually Monday's the day off, relax.
Take a rest day.
Yeah, Tuesday we have team practice anyway.
Yeah.
But I'll do like a bit of mobility and stuff then. And then I went on the ice in the morning Wednesday with a couple of guys. Then, yeah, lifted after. That was my first heavy lift. And then I had a heavy lift this morning on a Thursday, and then we have team practice.
Yeah.
And then skate Friday as a team.
So it's 100% hockey, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm here to do, focus on my hockey and get better every day.
And as we've heard recently, the Sharks are going to employ Colin Grubb as a hockey goalie coach specifically, goalie expert. And have you started work with Colin yet?
Yeah, I've start to speak. Like, he's been messaging me asking how I'm feeling, like mentally and physically, and we'll have conversations back and forward. And soon he'll be doing game reviews as well. So going through my Instat, which is just like clips from the games, all my touches. So anytime I make a save, the goal goes in, or I go behind the net, stop a puck, or make a pass. So we just go through all of those really, and we'll just have a conversation back and forward, just talking about how I saw a play, or how I see a play now, or maybe if he thinks I could have done something differently to give myself a better chance of making a save.
How do you think this is going to help you long term in your...
Oh, it's great. Always to get a second opinion. Like, either way, like, if it was him, I'd send it to maybe my goalie coach in the summer, or just a goalie coach I've worked with in the past, always to look at the game and stuff and break it down. So that's the only way you're going to get better, really.
Well, goalies are alleged to be a special breed. You're laughing. I can almost sense the question that's coming. Do you have to be a bit special to be a goalkeeper?
I was expecting you to say crazy, but no, I get that, special. I'd like to think I'm not special or anything. No, I know it. No, I know what you mean. I don't even know where it came from with me being a goalie. I think I just like the equipment. I know it's funny, but I didn't really register the part that people are shooting pucks at you. But
you just went for the most expensive position in terms of equipment going.
But no, it's just like I think I've said before, maybe in an interview I've had with you, like, you're either the hero or the villain. Like, if you have a good game, like, everyone like goes straight to the goalie first.
Yeah.
Especially if you win a game, I don't know, 3-1, and you have 40 shots and you're only giving up one. But then, like, if you have a bad game, everyone notices and everyone's the first to point the finger at you. Especially, like I said, if a defenseman or a forward makes a mistake, the goalie's there to bail him out. If a forward makes a mistake, the defenseman's there to bail him out, and even the goalie. But if we make a mistake, it's on the scoreboard.
Yep, good way of putting it. And with that in mind, who out the current Sharks squad, excluding Callum and Logan and yourself, do you reckon would make the best goalie?
I've not really seen anyone, but I have seen Kel once when we skated on, I think on a morning after we just practiced. He just got in the crease with his gloves and started doing crease patterns, and he could move pretty well. So I reckon he'd be a good goalie.
Well,
I'll have to put the pads on him one day.
There may well be a podcast with Kel saying he fancies being a goalkeeper. So,
Need to ask him.
Well done. Yeah, I want to get him in goals just for a fun game or practice or something.
Yeah, just get him in practice.
Yeah. But I want you and Callum and Logan taking penalties against them.
Oh, I'd love to be a player. Score goals. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's make it happen. Right, Kel, you're in goals. Guys taking shots against you. There is somebody else in the squad that has previous and apparently is better than your goalie coach Colin Grubb in goals in the current squad.
Really?
Yeah. Can you guess who? Oh. You've got to think laterally here. How would I know this?
Is it from last year?
It's Martin. It's his brother. Because they used to play.
Oh, really?
They used to play street hockey together.
And Martin's playing.
And Martin maintains that he was the better goalie.
That's great.
But Colin reckons he was fairly good out of goals as well. But
need to get him in for practice.
That's what I'm thinking as well. So a practice game, Kel on one end, Martin on the other end.
I know. That'd be great.
It's got to
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, we would love to see it. We're going to film that for sure. Before we end this podcast, I'm going to ask you to say a word to the fans, but I'll give you a minute to think about that. Just want to say to everybody to remember to like, share and subscribe. We know how many people watch the videos, know everybody likes, know everybody has subscribed and know everybody shares. So please do that. It helps us out hugely. But thank you so much for taking the time to watch us today. Before we go, Curtis, a message to the fans?
I just want to say thank you for all your support. Like, it means a lot, especially like with me when I've been injured, like always asking how I am and everything. But just stick with us. Like, the results will come. Like, the boys are working really hard. But yeah, thank you. And I'll see you at the weekend.
Thanks, Curtis. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
And thanks everyone for watching. This is Andy Glenn saying cheerio.